Hey, 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 secondhand soul fans! Hey, 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 secondhand soul fans. It's me, your friendly neighborhood soul man, Lyle Dynamite Miller. And I'm here with
Kathy Fern.
And the sax man, Dave Drower. What's up?
What's up, you guys?
What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? We're here at episode number 16 of the Secondhand Soul Band Show. So happy to see everybody still here. How we doing out there?
Awesome.
Great. All right.
As good as we could be, my man. As good as we could be. Right.
Living the dream. Living the dream.
Right. What a bad saying that was.
Yeah, I go from my bedroom to the living room to the kitchen to the bedroom.
Right.
To the living room.
Right.
Yeah, it's great. I'm going all over. So we got a great show lined up for you today. Today we're going to talk about the Bears. Once again, had a great week this week. We got a new segment about local landmarks. Then we're going to go with some musical moments. Then the famous over-underrated segment. We got another diva for you today. And then we got a new segment about an interview with one of the band members. You get to meet the band, meet the Secondhand Soul Band. Today we're going to talk to our keyboard player, Alex. And then Dave goes off at the end. And, of course, we got our Q&A. So you guys hit up that comment section over there. And again, if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to that channel and ring the bell so you can get all the updates. You ready to roll?
Let's go.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's do it. The Bears.
The Bears. That's right.
The Bears, man. Cardiac Bears. Are we ever gonna?
Oh man, you're the third person to say that today.
Cardiac Bears.
And
this is the third week.
Right. Week three. Week three.
Okay.
So okay.
Yeah.
Let's just start. It was a depressing game. Like, it was very depressing. The whole first half was not going in our favor. We weren't getting any. We were just getting penalties, and Trubisky, he just looks like a little child. Like, yes, there's a reason why he didn't play a lot in college, or it was just more of like the same. And I've been waiting for the Bears to be the bad news Bears. I really have for weeks, and it's like somehow every week, they play enough to win the game. So
every week.
Right.
It's like that anxiety is always there. If you're a Chicagoan and you're watching a Bears game, that anxiety is always there. You're always thinking, no matter how good things are going, they're going to blow it. They're going to blow it.
Right. Somebody's going to mess this up. And second half comes, and they get rid of Trubisky.
Yeah.
And they bring in Foles.
Smart move.
Right. Matt Nagy knew that it was a smart move. It really was.
It's his answer right.
And I felt so much more comfortable. This guy won a Super Bowl, and yes, he beat us in the playoffs, and yes, went on.
This is why we got him.
Exactly. And Trubisky, maybe this all was a little game that Matt Nagy was doing, but there's no way they're taking Foles out, because he ran the offense in a way that could be like, oh yes, we could come back from this. Like, he could throw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
And we got what, two touchdowns taken away, and I was like,
two taken away. Like,
man,
we should have blown them out.
We're done.
This is Foles as a player. This guy plays from behind, no matter at the beginning of the game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's just, he was the comeback. So if he started this game, it would have been easy. But the fact that he could come in after throwing a pick and score 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Right. And that pick was very questionable, too, because there was a game just last week where they called that a touchdown. And but no, Nick Foles, that didn't even affect him. And our defense had like three and outs right in a row.
Yeah.
We
got the ability. We got to play a whole game.
They came there. Yes, and Atlanta, my gosh, They score too many points to be 0-3. Seriously.
Every week.
Right. And for the Bears, I need them to play a complete game. It needs to be dominating. It needs to be convincing. It needs to be something where I don't think things are a fluke, because we've had a season where we went like 7-1 and then lost every other game.
Guys catching in the corner of the end zone, or
right,
in, or
right.
two guys holding the ball and stuff. It's always a fluky touchdown.
If Chicago knows anything about the Bears, it's like they'll find a way. So I don't
really pay attention to the game, but I've heard this sentiment more than once where people are like, dude, show up for the whole game.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I'm starting to think that I'd feel better if they screw up the first couple quarters, because then I'll feel better about the closeout. I mean, there's the consistency there at least. They get to the fourth quarter, they start playing. As long as the blowout isn't too bad, I think they can come back.
No. That's a horrible idea. No, because when we play a team that actually means something, there's not going to be that we'll just let you guys back in the game. So again, the Bears 3-0. Thank you. Right? That's a great start, and we're not going to take that away from you. But
don't they call this winning ugly?
Yep.
I don't know. It was a pretty sweet win. Like, they marched all the way down the field and got that last touchdown. It was like I was not nervous about it. I was like, oh, we're gonna totally take this, because we had like 4 minutes to score one touchdown.
Yeah,
and
I was like, that's too much time. Imagine saying
and we started on like the 45. Right. So
I mean, Jay Cutler could have had the fourth quarter and wouldn't have gotten the touchdown.
Right. No, I felt good. I liked Folds and Jimmy Graham. My gosh.
Graham, thank God we got him.
Absolutely.
50 years old, but finally we got him.
By the way, rest in peace, Gale Sayers, this week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Kansas Carter. Rest in peace.
Yep. And he would want domination from the Bears. So if you don't do it for anybody else, do it for Gale. Right.
Do it for Gale, yeah.
Right. Do it for the millennials that haven't seen that Super Bowl, They're walking around in diapers.
They don't know what we're capable of with the Bears. Who the Bears
are. Right. And hey, just a side note, we have two baseball teams that are going to the playoffs. And
Sox are in too?
The Sox and the Cubs are both going to the playoffs. Wow. Yes.
Do you guys think that they're going to discount it in their minds because it's COVID and there's all this, like, is their season normal?
A World Series is a World Series.
Yeah.
Like,
you remember
yes. I'll take it.
Years and years down the road, it's just going to be, yep.
You remember the strike in football? They had all those guys, like construction guys coming in, playing football. They counted that year.
Oh,
right.
They had a strike, and half the year they had nobody's coming in to play. It was terrible.
I went to Elmwood Park High School and I graduated in 1984. And our team, my senior year of high school, CPS went on strike. Chicago Public Schools went on strike. And all of a sudden, our team, because they didn't have to play CPS teams, we freaking won the tournament and won the division. And we, of course, lost our minds and went crazy. And I was like, yeah, but you didn't have to play like the hard people. But okay.
Right. Like, we'll take it. Yep. Yeah.
No, and I'll say it right now. I think the Sox they're gonna do it. Last time they won, I was living in Bridgeport. It was an amazing time.
Oh man.
And there's just something about it that and yes, it's a shorter season, but they've just been killing it all season long. So I would not be surprised if the Sox just take the pennant with like no trouble at all in October. All right,
cool.
That's fantastic. All right, we got a new segment coming up, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
So this one is called Legacy Landmarks, and I put this up because I'd heard about the Palmer House Hilton. It's a hotel in Chicago that is currently closed and will probably remain that way because the people that own it now have defaulted on the mortgage, and so its continuation is in question. But it has an awesome history for the city of Chicago. Potter Palmer was a Chicago business magnate, and he was well known for a variety of things, including a significant role in the development of the downtown of Chicago's iconic State Street. And his wife was Bertha Honor Palmer, and she was 23 years younger. She was a wealthy socialite, and she had also had a drive to learn and succeed. And so they were introduced by Marshall Field. Yes, that's an actual person. And it sparked a romance and eventually an engagement. And then they had one of the most extravagant weddings of all time. And he gave to her as a wedding gift the Palmer House. And it was a grand Chicago hotel, destined to take its place among some of the most luxurious hotels in Chicago and the world. But however, only 13 days after it was open, it fell victim to the Great Chicago Fire. But that didn't deter Potter. He was determined to rebuild his hotel, and he secured a $1.7 million loan back in, what year did he say? It doesn't say. 1971. He secured a $1.7 million loan. Like, how much money was that back then? And he negotiated on a signature alone. On November 8th, 1873, the new Palmer House opened and welcomed its first guests, and it became one of the nation's longest continually operating hotel. It is now closed indefinitely. But it was rebuilt across the street after the Chicago fire, and then rebuilt again in the same spot in 1920, and it went from 7 to 25 stories. It was the Chicago's first hotel with elevators, and the first hotel with electric light bulbs and telephones in the guest rooms. And very famous people like Mark Twain, Ulysses S. Grant, James Garfield, Grover Cleveland have all stayed there. In 1934, it hosted 4 semi-professional baseball teams made up of their employees. One of the teams, called the Waiters, and later the Palmer House Stars, consisted of Black employees. And the Stars played in the semi-pro Negro League and won the Illinois Championship in 1939 and 1940. And by the turn of the century, it had become the Chicago's liveliest social center, hosting a long list of prominent figures, including those ranging from U.S. presidents to Charles Dickens to Oscar Wilde. In 1933, the Empire Dining Room of the Palmer House was converted into an entertainment epicenter and supper club. Man, I would love to have seen this. It hosted legendary entertainers, including Judy Garland, Ella Fitzgerald, Louis Armstrong, Harry Belafonte. It was also a turning point for 24-year-old Frank Sinatra's career in 1939. There he auditioned for Tommy Dorsey, who had the country's preeminent big band. He joined Dorsey's band and rocketed to stardom. Pianist Liberace also got his breakout gig at the Palmer House. Many movies have been filmed there in the 80s and the 90s, including 2 Jim Belushi movies, Red Heat, also starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Curly Sue. And then, Chicago high school students would always use it as a destination for prom night festivities. It was sold to Conrad Hilton in 1945. At the time, it was one of the largest hotels in the world. So we have some really cool buildings in Chicago, and hopefully this one can survive the pandemic. Fingers crossed. But it's an amazing building. And Dave, did you put the picture up? I think I saw it in the beginning.
Yeah, it was up.
And it's an incredible piece of architecture. It should absolutely be saved. So hopefully they'll be able to do something, and somebody will come along and rescue the hotel. Lyle's frozen.
Oh, did we lose Lyle?
We did.
Well, that's okay. That's all right.
Okay.
Lyle
So we'll move on to musical moments.
Yeah, take it away.
Yeah, so Dave, we had this conversation before we started when we were writing the show. We Are the World was a song recorded in 1985. And Dave, how old were you in 1985? You were -2?
No, I was 2.
Oh, you were 2. Okay.
No, I was -2. In 85, in 87 is, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
you were -2.
Yes, -2. I was a thought in my dad's eye.
Oh, man. So
right.
This was a song that was written to help raise money for African famine, and it made a smashing comeback 35 years later. It was 35 years ago that the song was written, but it was put together by Quincy Jones, Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson, and they wrote this song about, we are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start living. And it was put together a lot of actors and musicians from the 80s, Stevie Wonder, Willie Nelson, Bruce Springsteen, Diana Ross.
Stevie Wonder, of course, he's involved in this. No, and I saw the recording of this. I remember.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
It raised a ton of money. It was it touched more than 400,000 people, and it was just a great money maker. It was based on damn, I lost my notes.
It's all right. We got Lyle here.
Yeah.
He's back. He's ready to go. Thank you.
Right.
I got
Ready to go.
distracted.
Palmer House. Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
Something just happened.
Yeah, so we were talking also in the beginning about before we got online here that Prince was supposed to be part of this compilation of artists, and he refused to perform. He never gave an official reason, but some people said he didn't like the song. His guitarist Wendy from Prince and the Revolution, she revealed in her book that she said that he hated the song. He thinks he's a badass and he wanted to look cool, and he felt like the song was horrible, so he didn't want to perform it. Lionel Richie said during an interview that he recalled how he tried to get Prince to work on the song. And he said, I sat on the phone with him for the longest time. I said, Prince, we're all down here waiting on you. And Prince says, can I do it in a separate room? And Richie said this was normal for him. He'd love to say that was, something unusual, but no, that's pretty much how he rolled. And of course, he's not going to be with a group of singers at the time when we want him to show up. And then Prince said, well, I'll play the guitar. And Quincy Jones says, I don't need him to play the effing guitar. I need him to sing. But Lyle, you had a different take on this. You had a little more insight to something with Prince and, some of the things he's done over his lifetime.
Yeah, We Are the World. The conversation is kind of, I think it's more nuanced than just the charity. The charity was not as highly recognized or highly praised by everyone, because it seemed as though the aid to Ethiopia was sort of a left-handed charity. The country that took so much from Africa was attempting to give back but with proceeds from a record sale. So yes, charitable, but also half-assed.
Too little, too late.
Too little, too late. Yeah, and Prince was known for his activism and for being aware of those and taking controversial stands.
Well, he's got
on those kind of
controversy,
subjects. So. Yeah, right. Yeah, you remember when he wrote "Slave" on the space, because he thought that the record companies were taking advantage of artists and using them to build up these large companies while the artists are starving. So, he always took those kind of stands. So maybe that's the perspective. But, listening to some of those quotes, I could see the ego as well.
It could probably be both, right?
It's probably a little both. Yeah. Yeah. But, Prince, very few people know.
It's silly. Come on. Stevie Wonder's on the track and Quincy Jones is asking me to go. It doesn't matter who you are. You do it. So this is just him being a drama queen.
Well, he loved to raise his middle finger to the establishment, though. That's how he was.
But that's not the establishment. That's like royalty. So
yeah.
So he made the wrong choice, because it didn't really matter that he wasn't there. He would have just been another face, and that's what he didn't like about it.
That's what he didn't like. He wasn't being promoted, and
right. God forbid I do something that has nothing to do with me in the spotlight.
Well, even when I rewatched the video, like Ray Charles
totally
is in there, and I didn't really remember the whole video, but Ray Charles is in the group, and I'm like, they're not featuring Ray Charles? Like, what? And then they put him up at the end, and okay, well, at least they put him up somewhere, like, so he got a featured moment. But some of the people they featured, I'm like, really? That's who you chose? But those were big people at the time in the 80s when, this video came out. So that they were all about promoting it too. I mean, it's still show business. They still want to, get enough people to promote it and donate. So, but the interesting thing is it was redone again in 2010 for the Haiti earthquake. And Lyle, you had something about that too. You said that we're trying
Haiti,
to go ahead.
Yeah, we're trying to donate to a country that has been decimated by raids over the years by other countries. To this day, Haiti is paying reparations to France to keep them from invading the slaves that were there 200 years ago. None of these people are alive, but the debt is still there. And even as recently as 2015, Macron said that he would not let up on the collection of that debt, even though there's
Who
no
is
money.
Macron?
Macron is Prime Minister of France.
Okay.
Would that be a title or
That's bananas.
not president? He's Prime Minister.
Yeah, I think Prime
Macron's
Minister
the
sounds
new guy,
right.
the handshake.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So to this day, that's and all of those, who knows how much wealth has been developed in Paris on the backs of those people, planting sugar. So
wow. There's always
yes.
something behind the scenes. You always got to dig a little deeper and know the story behind what's going on, right?
Yeah.
You can't take it at the surface.
That's right. Yeah, maybe put a verse in the new "We Are the World" about, hey, maybe stop ripping off the people that live there. How about do a verse on that?
Little guy. Let's just start there.
We get like Wyclef to do that verse, like it'll come straight from him.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're talking about doing a "We Are the World" 2020. So, this year's been a SH_T show. So I could see us writing a song. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of art comes out of this next year when, things kind of open up again. So
yeah. Hopefully, things will be better next year. We've had a lot of time to sit in the house and think, just like we all got put in the corner. So
yeah,
I hope you thought about what you did.
exactly.
All right, everybody, it's time. It's about that time for our favorite segment, I think. Over, underrated. Over, underrated. We take an artist, we look at their career, we look at their accolades, and we decide whether they're overrated, underrated, or getting just the right amount of praise.
That's
Who
right.
do we have this week?
I don't know how to bring this up, so we'll just go. We'll just go with this.
Bam! Celine Dion.
That's right. Celine Dion. And
Celine Dion. Maybe Celine Dijon. She's a little spicy.
Yes. Take it away, Lyle. I'm gonna let you free reign, my friend.
All right. Yeah, Celine Dion. Excellent vocalist. Pretty good singer. She's gotten a whole lot of praise throughout her career, so I think that she's just about right. But some of the stuff that she does, I think we just take for granted it's just her singing. She does some very difficult vocal acrobatics, so I think because of that, she's a bit underrated.
Okay.
Just a bit. Now she does have a residency in Vegas, so she's
so that means everything. Right.
Doesn't mean everything, but
no, it almost means nothing. No,
I mean she can draw people to come see her if she's been there for years and years. So people are coming to see her and paying their money, and I'm sure those tickets are not cheap.
That's not what this segment is about, Kathy. Okay. So this is about over underrated. This is not about who goes to see you at Vegas, who gets free tickets in Vegas. Like, stay at the whatever plaza. We'll give you free tickets to sleep. No. This is about over underrated. And this lady is completely overrated. And it comes down to her voice. Yes, she can sing. Yes, she could sing. Like, she could hit the pitches, but her songs are horrible, and her timbre...
personal taste, though, Dave.
Her timbre... No, it doesn't. No.
Wrote some of them songs.
No. And I know exactly where you're going to go next, because you want to talk about this diva thing, right? And this is...
Everybody...
This is some... Go ahead.
No. Everybody remembers this.
This is VH1 Divas. What year was this, Lau? It was like 90.
Was it 99? It was close to the millennium.
Yeah,
right,
VH1 was
a
a TV channel that used to play only videos, not anymore.
Yeah,
videos are like what you see on YouTube. That
it's one whole channel dedicated to videos.
All right, so they had pop singers or whatever, right? So Celine Dion is on this track.
And Rita was like the
Shania Twain,
right?
Honestly, right. And she's the only black girl on stage, and somehow, Lyle, you think that Celine Dion crushed Aretha Franklin, and it's just like you could hear the difference in the soul, in the realness of the voice, and the fakeness of Celine Dion. It has this. How do I put it? It's the accent that you really don't like, it's like not that sexy. That's
Do you have something against French people?
maybe I
Okay.
do, but I
So there's
no,
a lot,
it's
there's a
just,
lot to
it's
unpack
just
there.
she's she gets
Just-
no in all of her pop songs. Like it's Fleetwood Mac and Celine Dion on my list of like, oh man,
That's the song then. Maybe
I
some
gotta
songs
do
you
this
don't like.
again.
You just don't like her music, but that doesn't
It's
mean that she's
horrible.
not good at what she does. I mean, she's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot
She's
to
good at what
unpack,
she
first of all.
does, but she already gets way too much credit for how she sounds. That's what I'm saying. This is over underrated, and somebody to sound like that and actually get any accolades, it's next level to me. Like
She sounds great.
she could not be a studio musician because of that
She
twang.
could be a studio
and
musician.
no way.
Her
You always
pitch is
know.
excellent. Her tone is excellent. What do you mean?
No,
She
but
couldn't be a
Wait,
studio musician.
I mean,
No,
technically,
nobody
she's
sounds
right
like
up
that.
there.
No, give me a break. Give me a
Man,
break.
come on,
Give
listen
me
to
a break. Unbelievable.
Listen to the dynamics in her
Unbelievable.
voice on
The
on,
dynamics, yes. She
on
could
the on the
sing.
Titanic tune.
Yeah.
Ah,
First of all,
and that's
the
a
Divas
sad
performance-
song too. Like
It-
it's just pathetic. I just can't.
Oh, no
There's
way,
no
Jack.
way. There's no way
First of
you're gonna
all-
convince me.
First of
Absolutely
all,
not.
The
Like-
Divas performance had two black women on the stage, and both of them were everybody was like on the same part, and then Celine came at the end and said,
Right, and sang
"I thought we were divas."
really
Yeah.
high. No, it's like
Knocked
no.
everybody
It
over like
doesn't
dominoes.
matter. It doesn't
She
matter.
brought 110% to that show, man. I don't think she knows
Ugh.
anything less than that. She's always on.
Always,
Like,
always.
she's
I've never
super-
seen her like pull
when you-
back. You know,
When you see her singing, she is like super intense about everything.
Right,
I mean,
but it's
everybody
not.
else was
It's
kind of
not.
looking at
It's
their
not.
shoes, you
No,
know, and
it's
singing background for Aretha
Hey,
when
no,
she
I
was
said
going
no.
off. They're
previous
like,
show,
she
I
can
said
never.
on a previous show when I saw Aretha, I was so disappointed. I have a feeling I would never be disappointed in a Celine performance.
No,
She would
hands
never-
down, it
let
would
me
be
down.
easy. It would be easy because anybody that's trying that hard, it's not even real music. Like, no.
No.
You couldn't
It
even
sounds
pay me to
authentic.
go see
I
her.
think I know where you're
Absolutely
going, but
not.
she sounds authentic to me. I
Nah,
believe.
she's a true professional, man.
That is
Yeah.
not what we're talking about. We're
No,
not
I
talking
think-
about her professionalism, and I'm not even talking about her
That's part of
pitch.
her rating, how professional she is.
I'm talking about you're talking about the authenticity and
Right,
her voice.
right,
I
and it's
think
just
she's
not there.
authentic.
It's not there. It's not there. There's no way.
I think she's authentic.
I believe her
I
when
think-
she's singing those songs. I believe
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Mhm.
I
Well,
would
yes,
say-
and the songs are very, very cheesy.
That's your
Oh,
problem.
my
You don't
God.
like the music, but
It's
you
the
so you
music.
can't really hear her singing.
Music, I
but-
like those.
I
short
could hear
songs.
her
Some of them are
singing,
great.
and I don't like the words that are coming out of her mouth.
That's
and
well,
then
then you got to take that up with Diane Warren. You got to take that up with the writer.
Right.
No,
And
no,
Warren
no,
writes some
no.
great songs,
Hey,
too.
we just talked about Prince not doing a thing because he didn't like a song, and then now you're trying to say, "Oh, don't blame Celine Dion for doing the ridiculous song." Like, no,
The
even
songs
when,
are great.
even when she's
We Are
doing
the World was a great
Aretha
tune.
Franklin, she doesn't even come close. And no.
Okay,
There's
Aretha
just no way.
Franklin,
Uh,
Aretha Franklin
who
was
do-
dominating in that show. Aretha
Yeah,
Franklin was dominating in that show, and then Celine came up, and she was only dominating because the other divas were standing down. And
Right,
Celine was like,
right.
"Why are we standing down?" And she came out, and Aretha got scared. Jack, I don't care what you
No, stop
You can
it.
hear.
Stop it.
Yes,
Stop
and you
it.
know how I know?
No,
Here's the
no,
specifics.
no.
Celine did
She's
this
She's like,
wrong.
oh, Celine's gonna sing really high,
Singing
and it,
so hard.
No.
All right.
Specifically, Celine did this run. Yeah, she did that run, and Aretha tried to do the same run behind her and missed a couple of the notes.
Oh.
It
Listen
doesn't. It
hard.
doesn't
She
matter.
must
It
have
doesn't
been
even
pissed.
matter. It
They
doesn't
managed
even
to
matter.
singers. You believe
Oh,
me, she got
and-
scared.
Okay, fine.
Celine is gold.
We're gonna find.
You guys make sure you go watch the video. You'll see
We're-
exactly what we're
we're
talking
gonna
about. You can
find
weigh in,
tons of
on what you think.
tons of examples of how Celine Dion missed notes and was not right on par. And come on,
Find one.
stop.
I ain't never heard her voice crack.
I would say she was
Okay, we'll
technically
find out
perfect.
when she's in her 70s. Yeah, we'll find
Okay.
out.
That's
I'm
fair.
not.
You know, I have
And-
a feeling she will not be different. I think she will be as intense as she is right now. That's just her
Oh,
mode of operation.
you've been disappointed before, Kathy. Aretha Franklin's a perfect example. So
Aretha,
come on,
we'll see.
we just need a little more time. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I
all.
hear you on that. That's fair. Check
15,
back in a
10
few
years.
All right, we got a new segment, right, coming up.
Get
Yeah.
to know the Secondhand Soul Band.
So we
That's
want
right.
you to introduce you to Alex. Enjoy.
Kadurov. Good. Everybody, this is Alex Kadurov, our keyboard player. We've been together probably going on close to a year now. Alex, how are you hanging in there during this pandemic? What are you doing to keep yourself busy musically?
Yeah, I think this pandemic is a great chance to concentrate on the music, which I already missed before because of the job, because of any other occupations which I did. So right now, I'm just trying to focus on the roots, on the soul music, on the Motown and funk music, which I like a lot. And that's why I'm just listening much to the James Brown, to the Marvin Gaye, and all these icons of the good soul music here in the States and all over the world. Yeah.
Yeah. So you are from Russia, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where you grew up and you started playing keyboard there. Tell me more about that.
Oh yeah, I just started to play keyboards more than 20 years ago. I was a child and I was attending the boys choir, and there was a teacher who just suggested me to join the classes on the classical piano, and I just played classical music when I was a kid, and after the school I just continued to do that, but with the modern music as well, and funk music and soul music was one of my favorites, and that's why I'm just a big fan of that, and I'm just continue to do that.
That's so much fun. It is great music. And so when you first started playing, who did you listen to? You were talking about classical, but like when you first started playing for yourself, like who did you listen to?
Oh, you know what? My first loving band and my favorite band was the Beatles. Mm-hmm. At that time, because my sister also was really a big fan of the Beatles, and she just showed me some albums, some songs, and I was really impressed by that. After that, I was just listening more to the British rock, and then I go to the American music, and I found out that in American music, I like more soul music and maybe gospels and funky soul, and that's why I just decided to learn more about that and play more that music.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And so you obviously like Motown and soul music, and like what artists are major influences on your playing?
Oh, if we take Motown, funk, soul music, I like the way how James Brown and Marvin Gaye are leading their bands. Mm-hmm. From the modern ones, I would suggest that it's Maceo Parker, who was it's a former saxophonist player from James Brown band. Mm-hmm. And also, I'm a big fan of the British band, which is playing not only Motown funk, but it plays really good funk and disco music. It's Jamiroquai.
Jamiroquai, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great. And I think one of the questions that was posed before was Jamiroquai or Sade?
Well, I could say that Jamiroquai is more experimental music. They just try to mix different genre and make it in the way they used to do that. It's like a very unique thing. But as for the Sade, I would say that it's more basic, it's like roots of the soul, and I really like both bands and both entertainers, and Sade is like a very calm and quiet music for me. Mm-hmm. And Jamiroquai is a lot of genius ideas, a lot of interesting stuff, which always pushes me to play more and to learn more.
Fantastic. So let's end with our tagline. Motown, funk, and soul.
Dave goes off.
All right, you know what time it is. It's time for Dave Goes Off. So today, this is a very, very public message for you guys. I'm sure that you've seen these commercials. Let's start with the nice old lady from Park Ridge. So she says, oh my gosh, you guys, I can't live in Illinois anymore because they're going to raise our taxes. And oh, I'm a sweet old lady, and you have to believe me, so don't vote for the fair tax. And then there's another one, this nice white lady. She's a teacher, now a social worker, and she's going to have to move. And they have video of her packing her stuff and leaving Illinois because of this tax. You wouldn't believe it. So then, instead of doing that, they have the nice business owner saying, oh, if they do this, my business is going to have to close. You guys, you have to vote no. So, here, Dave is going to tell you really what's going on. So, here in Illinois, everyone pretty much get taxed. They're set rates for everybody, right? And rich people, quite frankly, they pay less taxes than the poor people. And poor people, I mean, if you don't make $250,000 a year, you are poor. You are poor. So, what happens? Let's just talk about Social Security, right? So if you make a ton of money, you don't actually pay Social Security tax on all of that money. After $100,000 or $150,000, you don't pay any more Social Security tax. So again, if you talk about the percentage of money that's taken out of the checks of the Joe Schmo and the rich person, it's going to be more for the Joe Schmo. And they make less money on top of it. So what is this fair tax really talking about? This fair tax, it's simple, my friends. If we vote yes, then they could have different tax rates for different tax brackets. So if you are a multimillionaire in Illinois, including the governor, including the ex-governor, including all these people that live downtown.
Every single politician.
That's right. All of these people, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're going to pay more taxes. And yes, some businesses will have to pay more taxes. These are the ones that are making millions and millions of dollars, and they should pay more money because Amazon, I think, paid almost nothing in Illinois taxes the past 10 years they've been around. So again, these companies, they also can pay money to have commercials and try to trick people here in Illinois that it's a bad thing for them. But here's the truth, my friends. If we don't vote yes for this, then everyone's taxes are going up. And it's going to hurt Joe Schmo, this guy, Dave, the guy that
musicians,
the guy that just bought a condo. Right, the single parents. Exactly. It's going to it's going to hurt everybody. And then again, these rich people are going to end up paying less than we do. And all we have to do is vote yes. And hey, it's very simple. Anytime you see a ton of commercials about one thing, you should not assume. You should think that there's a lot of money behind me thinking in this way. So let me actually do some research because all commercials are trying to get you to think some way. And what I'm trying to do right now, guys, is I don't want you to think one way or the other. But if somebody's trying to convince you of something, why do they want me to convince me of that?
Yeah, why are they working so hard?
What's their side angle? And anytime we're talking about taxes, it's because somebody doesn't want to pay more taxes. And we already pay a ton of taxes. So clearly it's not us.
Yeah, they'd rather spend $5 million on commercials than to pay the $10 million in taxes.
Right.
Because in the long run, it'll save them money. Well, thank you, Dave, for doing that because I was so confused. I was before I did my mail-in ballot, so it's coming. So I knew I was going to have to sit down and kind of digest all that. So thank you for doing that. I mean, I just read right before we got on this show, Trump paid $750 in taxes in 2016 and 2017.
Yep.
That's less than what I paid.
And
you said, I guess I make more money than him.
Yeah.
Right, and this is the problem in our tax code. But Illinois would not be the first one with a graduated tax.
That was interesting to me too.
California and New York, rich people have been in California. It's almost 38% if you make more than $3 million a year.
Yeah,
38%, and I don't see old ladies running away from California.
Right.
So again, these are all false arguments. And guys, we're smarter than this. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you to vote Republican, Democrat. I'm telling you look at the facts and then think for yourself. And hey, there's even a website. It'll tell you if you're gonna get paid more or less in tax. I laugh at one of my jobs. The guys are like, "Oh, I don't come in extra hours because I make $60. The tax is up," and it's like, you guys. So you're gonna make less money? Or you're doing the math on I didn't make 70. I made 60 because the taxes went up from $300 to $400 to $500. It's just come on. Use your heads. But hey, that old lady, she did a great job on that commercial, Lyle. It's the only one that could book a commercial nowadays.
Did she have her SAG card and she got paid
Right,
for the
yeah.
commercial?
Right.
I think she
They-
works at an Amazon warehouse.
They had 0 black people on that commercial. Like,
Yeah, well,
I
they're
wanna
not going to
see
buy that one.
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't raise taxes because I make $2 million a year.
right.
Like you, yeah, they're not going to buy that.
Oh my
Mhm.
God.
All right. So,
Good
hey,
segment, Dave.
All right, we just want to give a shout out to everybody who joined us today. Thanks for your comments. And make sure you subscribe and hit the like button here. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the bell and subscribe there. And also, don't forget to hit our virtual tip jar because we're not doing any shows right now. So we got to do this.
And we got to
And-
pay our taxes.
Yes, that's right.
yeah.
So make sure you hit the tip jar to help us out.
I got my beer tax I got to pay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. This
Well-
year is going to be a very interesting tax year because
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of businesses that didn't make any money. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still scraping to try to break even here. But hey, I'm
I hope
thinking
you got a
positive.
good tax guy.
Yeah. We're
Oh
still
yes,
alive.
I'm not worried about the taxes. I pay plenty.
Yeah, we sure do.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's great to see everybody, and another show in the can.
All right.
And everybody have an amazing week, and we cannot wait to see you all again soon.